महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. First I have to say, after a gap of 1 week we are resuming our Gita class today, because we in the last week we couldn't do. I have given this message that all our classes are postponed on account of Jayanti. Regarding Jayanti, I say few words to those who do not know. Aradhana. We in the ashram, we had a celebration of Swamiji's Aradhana for 1 week. During this 1 week, we have special talks. Generally, more people would come and stay in the ashram, but this time, due to Corona, we have not invited the people to come here. But we gave talks online alone, so people staying at home, they heard. So for 1 week we had special talks on Swamiji's on Vedanta only, during this Swamiji's Aradhana. We have 2 saptaha, and that means two 7 days, 2 7-day sessions. 7-day sessions. One comes in sometimes December and January. Another comes around this month, July, around June, July. So Jayanti is the period. Jayanti is the time when Swamiji was born, and Aradhana is one when Swamiji left his body. So this was the time few days ago. On last 6th, today is the 9th, 3 days ago, Swamiji left his body. So and his samadhi is made here. Those who have visited it know this. So since Swamiji left the body, we call this Aradhana Day. So in the occasion of Aradhana, we celebrate it. That day a special puja to sannyasis and special invitees, and then food is given to all, prasada, special puja, and everything was done. So this Aradhana is for 7 days we had special talks. So therefore, during these 7 days, I have postponed, I have cancelled all other talks, including Gita. This I have given this message in my Facebook, and also to our Jnana Prakasha WhatsApp group. There also I have mentioned it. So those who have been attending these 2 knew well that 2 days in advance we have done, and even our magazine, our monthly journal Adhyatma Prakasha announces it 1 month before only that Swamiji's Aradhana is going to be held, and during this some talks will be held. All this, those who have been regularly subscribing to our Swamiji's Kannada magazine and also know it, and our Jnana Prakasha WhatsApp group as well as the Facebook, I have announced it in advance. So after a gap of 1 week, 1 week we had special talks. That Swamiji's misconceptions about Shankara is a very beautiful book that we have started during our Saptaha. We couldn't complete it. The book is big enough. So I am continuing. As you know, on Saturdays I am continuing that misconceptions about Shankara. It's a very beautiful book. He summarizes all the subtle, very, very subtle differences between Shankara's teaching and post-Shankarites. It is not simply technically showing the contrast, but he shows deeply how the Vedantic Prakriya, which is based directly on Shankara Bhashya, is so clear, and it presents the true Vedanta. Okay, therefore we have been discussing that in Kannada. Now I can't discuss in everything in all languages. So in India itself we have got plenty of languages. If I say in English, some people don't understand. If I speak in Kannada, again some don't understand, they want in Telugu. If I speak in Telugu, Kannadigas don't understand. Then if I speak in Telugu and Kannada, Hindi people don't understand, they want in. How many languages can I speak? Or if I speak in Sanskrit, again some people understand and some people. So we have a problem of language in India. We have not adopted a good national language which is easily understandable to all Indians. We have created a problem for ourselves. So which language am I to speak to be able to reach everybody? Anyway, therefore, I am doing in Kannada. At least more people, I think more people can understand that Kannada. Therefore, I am using misconceptions about Shankara, Swamiji's booklet in English. that I'm speaking in Kannada, but the booklet is in English. Okay, probably I could have done little bit English and Kannada both together, but there are no English listeners anyway. So there are only Kannada, so I'm speaking in Kannada. Otherwise, I could do partly English, partly Kannada together. But that booklet is very good booklet. It gives the summary of whole Vedanta excellently. And the subtle difference he brings out the contrast between them. Okay, now coming to the Gita, we had a holiday in the last week, and now we are continuing. So whenever like this, whenever there is some reason, I generally give a message in my Facebook or in my that Jnana Prakasha WhatsApp group. In these two groups, I generally give message in 3 languages, generally Kannada, English and Telugu. In all the 3 languages, I give the message. Those who have been watching this, they know in advance why this is cancelled. Okay, now already I am late today due to some reason. So we have at least in the 20 minutes, I think 15 to 20 minutes I shall be able to speak, not longer than that. Okay, the Gita, at least we refresh the earlier topic which was going on, since we had a gap in the last week. So we continue. In the Gita 5th chapter, Arjuna asked the question that you decide any one side you praise sannyasa, renouncing karma. Other side you advise me to follow karma, to practice karma yoga. Now this is contradicting for me. I am unable to understand, should I give up karma or should I practice karma yoga? This point Bhagavan Krishna has clarified in the beginning of 3rd chapter. Again Krishna is asking in the 5th. Again he asks again at the end in the last chapter 18, because this is a question, this is a doubt most of the people have. We have to transcend all karma. But how you will be able to transcend karma? With the help of karma only. It doesn't mean that karma helps you to transcend directly. No. Karma has a place which prepares you for a certain stage. There you will be able to transcend karma. See, these are the 2 stages. Therefore, so there are Sankhya and Buddhists and such others. They oppose the very life of karma. Karma means rituals, prayers, and all these things. Rituals and prayers, they say you give up any religious activity to be able to transcend all activity and reach moksha. So right from beginning they are against religious activity. But here Bhagavad Gita teaches Bhagavan Krishna, see, karma includes both the karmas. One is the religious karma, religious activity like rituals, prayers, and also worldly activity done in a religious way. Religious way means in a prayerful way. Okay. One is as a prayerful way means as a devotional service to Bhagavan. Okay. So one is the directly ritual activity taught in the religious books. Second is even the worldly activity also done in a religious way, means with a prayerful heart, as a surrender, as a love and dedication to God, Bhagavan. See, when you do even the worldly duties, worldly responsibilities, family duty, or anything that you do in your life, of course, dharmic alone, no question of adharmic. All the dharmic activities that you do, all that you do as an offering to Ishvara, as a service to Ishvara, even that becomes a ritual. See, we have 2 ways of ritual. One is a ritual activity, rituals and prayers. Another is worldly activity done in a prayerful way. All your worldly activity of your professional duty, your social interactions, your responsibilities, family life, and your own personal activity, all that. All these activities, economic, social, political, and all those activities, all those actions done in a prayerful way, that also can be taken as a karma yoga. See, this is a very interesting thing how Bhagavad Gita talks of these 2 ways, Shrauta and Smarta. So these activities, now one is doing karma, that is one's duties and responsibilities as a prayer. So the Buddhism and Sankhya, even within the Veda Sankhya, these two, once you discover Vairagyam, once you discover interested in moksha, they advise you to just give up all the ritual activities right from beginning. Ritual activity, social responsibility, everything, all activity give up. That means take to a lifestyle of sannyasa. Once you are interested in spirituality, that's all. Enter into sannyasa. Directly take to the life of sannyasa. So, all rituals are purely for sake of some punya, some merit, religious merit, to go to heaven and all. If you are not interested in any what you call an acquired world means like heaven and all, swarga and all. If you don't want that, then only thing is directly sannyasa. They have got only two opposites each other. One is a karma life, religious karma. Another is totally opposite to religious karma. You renounce and become a sannyasi. But in between, a preparatory step, same religious ritual life, religious and ritual and prayerful life can be used as a karma yoga. This aspect is missing in Buddhism and Sankhya. This is purely Vedic contribution. Bhagavad Gita particularly emphasizes that. Therefore, he advises Arjuna to follow the karma yoga. Now, at the same time, tells that this karma yoga is a preparatory step. It builds up your personality, purifies your personality, your motives, your emotions, your behavior, your interaction. It purifies. See, karma purifies. So, karma, if it is done as a karma yoga, purifies your interactions, your emotions, your thoughts, your activity, your behavior, your everything. All your normal life and ritual activity, everything is done selflessly at the devotional service to Bhagavan. So it purifies you. Then once you purify, you get a detachment. You become prepared, capable enough to renounce the worldly life and pursue only the tattva vichara and be only a renunciate, a sannyasi. So that is a sannyasa comes a much later, only after due preparation. Okay. Therefore, he is asking, Arjuna asked the question, one side you praise renunciation of karma, other side you advise me to follow karma. Now therefore you tell me any one which I am supposed to. Here we discussed in our previous classes, Arjuna misunderstood one thing. When he told renunciation, he didn't mean simply renouncing the work. Not simply a lifestyle of sannyasa. It is a transcending of karma. That's what he talked. It's not simply external lifestyle of a renunciate, lifestyle of a monk. He didn't mean it. He meant it inward growth. Your inner growth, your understanding, you are understanding a vision where you transcend your individuality and your work and interactions, relationship. You discover another state in you, another deeper truth in you where you transcend all the relationship of cause and effect. By karma we mean cause and effect relationship. One is a gross cause and effect, physical cause and effect relationship. Another is a subtle cause and effect relationship at the level of mind. He says sannyasa is transcending the cause and effect relationship. It is not physically taking a lifestyle of sannyasa. Okay? It is a transcending of cause and effect relationship. It is a transcending the idea of becoming, but rather discovering what you already are in reality. So it is a being, not becoming. Karma means becoming, jnana means being. It is a discovery of what you already are in your reality, in your real nature, in your essential nature. Okay, so it is a jnana is a discovery, karma is transforming, becoming into something else. You transform into something else. Psychologically, mentally, you expand your mind, you transform into another person. But in jnana, it is a discovery, not a transformation. The very discovery helps you to transcend to another level. Okay, so one is jnana yoga is a discovery, yoga of discovery, yoga of inquiry, yoga of discovery. Okay, jnana yoga can be called in English as a yoga of inquiry and yoga of discovery. Another karma yoga is yoga of doing, yoga of becoming. Okay, transforming, becoming into something else. Yoga of doing and becoming, and yoga of inquiry and discovery. Okay, now Bhagavan replies to this thing, Sannyasa karma yogascha nishreyasaka ravubhau. Two sadhanas are there. One is excluding all worldly activity and ritualistic activities, and then concentrating only on dedicating your life for your only one thing of inquiry, purification and self-inquiry. That is one thing. That is called sannyasa. Sannyasa is less importance to the life of activity, but more of a self-inquiry. Okay, therefore sannyasa. Karma yoga is purification, a purificatory rites, activities, relationships, all that in a devotional service when you live a life of karma yoga. So sannyasa, karma yoga, if you take them as sadhanas, sannyasa as a sadhana, karma yoga as a sadhana, both are good, both are useful, both are good, both are helpful in reaching moksha. Okay, nishreyasakarav, nishreyas means moksha. Both are helpful. Okay, both are helpful in reaching moksha, in attaining liberation. Nishreyasa Karav means, of course, they help in their own capacity in different ways. Karma Yoga helps in one way, Jnana Yoga helps it in another level, in another way. So Karma Yoga also helps you to attain liberation, and also Jnana Yoga also helps you to attain liberation, but they help at a different level, in different angle. But only what Bhagavan Krishna wants to say here is, don't think they are opposite to each other. That's what he meant to say. Karma, if it is done as a yoga, it is not exactly self-inquiry, but it is on behalf of, in the direction of self-inquiry. Therefore, it facilitates at later stage, it will make you, it will prepare you for your self-inquiry, because it is purification. Because mind has to be pure to be able to be creative. See, we say person should be creative. Person should be a self-inquiring person to be able to discover. But the discovery happens if you are a creative and observant. But this creative observation creative observation is different from creative imagination. Okay? Creative imagination is a upasana, we call in our technical language. Creative imagination. But Vedanta is a creative observation. Creative means with an open mind, you just observe. By the word creative, we mean you are open-minded, with a desire to learn. Observation with a desire to discover, learn and discover. Okay? Therefore, it is an observation. So, he says that Karma Yoga, which is a living of offering to Bhagavan as a Karma Yoga, it is not in the opposite direction. Don't think when I have advised you to follow Karma Yoga for sake of moksha, you got confused. You equated Karma Yoga with the karma. Karma is the desires, motivated by desires for result of it. Karma Yoga and karma are two different. Rituals, ritualistic karma and worldly karma, done with a motive of, done with a desire for fruits, desire for worldly fruits and other worldly fruits. That is called karma. Karma, ritualistic karma, has a power which brings you religious merit, which brings you heavenly pleasures, worldly achievement, worldly prosperity, and worldly prosperity and pleasure, as well as other worldly prosperity and pleasure. Okay, Abhyudaya we call them in Sanskrit. Abhyudaya means prosperity and pleasure. Prosperity and enjoyments, let us say. Prosperity and enjoyments. This is worldly name and fame, status, powers. Okay, power, prosperity, and enjoyment. All the three: power, prosperity, and enjoyments. This is called this worldly and other worldly. These are called karma. Karma means with a motive, with the desire to get powers, religious powers, miraculous powers, supernormal powers. You get them. You get powers of mind, powers of body, occult powers. You get them. So these occult powers, that we call them miraculous powers, supernormal powers, occult powers. So if you acquire occult powers or yogic powers, we call them. So powers, prosperity means because of this power you acquire money, status, name and fame and all that due to religious merit. Karma, this is where we use the word karma. Karma means past karma. And enjoyments. Okay, so power, prosperity and enjoyment. Power doesn't mean material power and all. It means occult powers, capacities of mind and body, and also external world, all those things. So power, prosperity and enjoyment, these things are the motives, general motives. People perform the worldly activity and religious activity in order to acquire these things belonging to this world and the other world. So that we call it as karma. But karma yoga is different from karma. Karma is done all these ritual and non-ritual actions with a motive of fruits of them, result of them. But karma yoga doesn't look for material results, either this worldly and other worldly results. It doesn't expect worldly and other worldly. It wants to live a life of dedication, love and surrender as a simple prayerful life. Wholehearted love, sincere love, selfless love. So it doesn't expect a result, material or otherworldly results. It wants simply purification of your individuality, personality, your relationship, your motives, emotions, thoughts, everything. And makes you a creative, open-minded person. Removes prejudices, removes jealousy, removes ego, makes you purified person. Because to be able to follow the Jnana Yoga, that is self-enquiry, the seeking of the truth, you require a purity. See, this is what Bhagavad Gita emphasizes. You need to purify your whole personality to be able to be a creative thinker. A creative thinker requires a purification. Without purification, you see, like our Western philosophers and some of the Indian philosophers, they are philosophers, but their personal life has been very, very bad. They have been very problematic people, frustrated people, angry people, quarreling people, and they have got a very weird ideas and views. So philosophers without a good personality, a purified personality, you will have a very strange views, prejudiced views, and speculations alone. It is not a discovery of the self. In their personal life, they don't reach that level of truth. They only intellectually get as ideas, but in their living level will be too low level. Even Indians also, we have a few of them, not all, but mostly we emphasize purity of life. Therefore, every yogi, every sadhaka has to purify his life. That alone is important. In fact, if you allow me to say, even their European religions also have created the same problem. The biggest problem in them is they claim to be prophets. All the three religions claim to be prophets, but all of them are impure people. They are egoistic people, mentally disturbed people, psychologically, all kinds of negative things. Therefore, they imagined that God is revealing something to them. That you can see the highly questionable. These all monotheistic religions have got mono prophets. Because God reveals to one person, and through one person all others should get it. We don't understand why God should not reveal to all others, to every human being. He reveals to only one prophet alone and not others. And after some time, the old prophet is outdated and he selects one prophet and reveals. So this revelation by one God, monotheistic God to one prophet, is a really problematic thing. Because These prophets, almost all the prophets, are only problematic people in life because they have never lived first Karma Yoga. Unless you live Karma Yoga, purify your emotions, relationship, personality, and everything, you won't become a yogi. You don't become an introverted, inner personality won't be pure enough. Unless your mind is pure, even your yogic powers will be a perverted yogic powers. You may get a superficial miraculous powers, but they will be harmful. They will be harmful to society, and you have got all kind of delusions. If your personality is not pure, therefore you see in India, whether they are philosophers or religious people or yogic type of people, yoga type, bhakti type. See, yogic knowledge, yogic sadhana, bhakti sadhana, ritualistic sadhana, sannyasi sadhana, all types of sadhana, purification of the personality. Karma yoga is essential for all our sadhanas. In India, that is a common, essential, preliminary stage everybody must undergo. Without that, any person you become will become a delusion person. Therefore, almost all prophets of Europe, and that means that the famous three religions particularly, they were all deluded people, because the delusions are overwhelming in them. That's why they talk of, you see, I'm the only prophet, God has revealed to me, and kill what you call non-believers, dividing the society and believer and non-believer. The very nature of God also, the nature of God which they have discovered, is only full of their own egos, their own ego, their own delusions. They imagined God as a frightening person, God as an angry person, God has got hatred, God is a jealous God. He says, I hate people, I hate those who do not worship me, and I hate atheists, and there is a Satan. All these are perverted thinking, delusional thinking alone. Therefore, this prophecy, these monotheistic prophets, and also the Western philosophers, they first directly start thinking and start imagining. And these prophets imagine that God has revealed, and we are supposed to believe, even if it is a wild, vulgar, and harmful, hurtful, and delusional things. And the philosophers also, without purifying, they speculated strange views, contradictory views, but they are all intellectual views alone. They don't come to that in their experience, in their intuitions, they don't get them. They get speculations alone, purely intellectual, but their personal life, they remain same deluded, confused, problematic people. Personalities are frustrating personalities, problematic personalities. We don't see the pure personality. Therefore, in India, whether for worldly life, or for religious life, or spiritual life, or even Vedantic life and yogic life, basic purification is a basic qualification, essentiality for all our sadhanas. Whether bhakta, otherwise bhakta start imagining that there is only one God and he talks to me alone, and everybody must accept me, and I should go and kill all others because they don't listen to me, and no idol should be there, and all these are delusions, perversions. See, because first they lack the basic purity of the personality, and they start imagining all delusions, and they think that God is in India. Any human being can have such things. They are all mental cases. All those who claim to be prophets are mental cases, because first you have no guru, and you don't learn yourself first. You don't get purification, and directly start imagining that God comes and talks to you, and start all hateful things, hateful imaginations. That you first, I think in Europe, the first, all the prophets, there is one unanimity in all the prophets, is they hate that all Hinduism religion, Eastern religions are satanic religion. See, this is the discovery they have got. You see now what kind of revelation and what kind of God it is. The monotheistic God is the real Satan, and these prophets are real deluded fellows, mental cases. Therefore, first thing they discover, and the last thing they discover, and throughout they continue, it is all Eastern religions, Vedanta, spirituality is Satan, and their delusions alone are God. Now you tell me, what kind of religion is it? They are the people who have destroyed the whole humanity, and now you can see then the whole world is suffering. Now the Afghanistan is again rising, same problems. All terrorism comes from this religion in the name of God. I think the monotheistic God is the biggest terroristic gang leader. So because they don't emphasize the purity of the personality. This delusion, there shouldn't be no delusion. There should be a straight, simple experiences. Meditative experiences are different from delusional experiences. Delusional experiences are different from meditative experiences. Meditation requires, as a preliminary condition, purity, a sane personality, a logical. It doesn't compromise logic. It has to be logical, open-minded, and anybody can discover. If why God should reveal to one person, it should be able to reveal to you, me, everybody. In Vedantic sadhana, in Bhakti sadhana, yogic sadhana, Guru helps you to receive revelation from God, or revelation by God, revelation from life. Life itself is all-pervasive God, all-pervasive Ishvara, everywhere there. So if your mind is pure and prepared and meditative and self-inquiry, you keep discovering the truth. Everybody discovers directly. Guru helps you to discover directly. Guru doesn't give you any revelation or any belief, any concept to directly impose on you and you are supposed to accept. Guru doesn't give you any concept. He helps you to discover. So it is a discovery. All along it is a discovery. Everybody discovers. So everybody becomes a real, everybody has a direct relationship with Ishvara. No intermediate, no in-between, go-between, these intercepted like prophets. These prophets are real problem to humanity. These problems, all these prophets and prophetic religions, prophets should be put in mental hospital, and prophetic religions need a severe psychological treatment. They are the real problems. Abnormal psychology. In fact, all these prophetic religions, these monotheistic religions, have to be a part of this abnormal psychology. If you study psychology, I have not studied. I just heard a few people telling few superficial things. I have not studied anything. So they have an abnormal psychology, one branch of psychology. Okay, all these prophetic religions and the prophetic books and the prophets and their followers should be part of abnormal psychology. Why should be? They are. That's what you see them. It's an open fact. You can see them. They're just part of abnormal psychology. Because first, purity is missing. In fact, they create a society of guilt and perversion, egoistic. You see the Islamic society, Christian society, and then Jewish society. The society, their church, their prophets, all of them force your mind. They don't allow the mind to naturally flower. See, that's why Eastern religion they hate, because we allow person to naturally flower. Different stages of sadhana. One thing is, we have got different level of sadhanas. Even the most normal person, we take them, we accept them. We give the sadhana to his level, he gradually has to purify, like a flower, like a bud flowers, you have to naturally flower. No imposed thing, no forced concept, no glorifying hatred in the name of God, no glorifying ego and egoistic speculation, egoistic wild delusions, no glorifying delusions are God's revelations. Delusions are not God's revelations. No ego's hatred as glorified, as what you call legitimized as religious. Ego is legitimized as religious. Hatred is legitimized as religious. This is called delusional. This is called satanic. Oh. In fact, they talk of lot of Satan. Their God is Satan, their books are Satan, their prophets are Satan. Because it is a delusion. It is a perversion. They are all Freud cases. Oh, terrible fellows. Therefore, they have churches. They are controlling. They don't allow the normal, natural human being, human childhood to flower. You see, they destroy the human childhood by creating this guilt and all that. See, the sin, the sin creates a terrible thing. You don't allow the human beings to live naturally. And they condemn naturally satanic. My God. For any person suffering from cataract, every person with a normal eyesight look like perverted. See, a person under cataract, he sees that world is something strange. And every person, for every mental case, all normal person look like mental cases. He alone looks as a sane person. This is what we see them here. Okay? That's because they don't talk of purification of the first be a basically good and healthy personality, a logical person, a logical thinking, healthy emotions, healthy interactions, a sane and good and healthy personality, not extreme, not any, neither Gandhiji type nor of Jesus type, nor of Prophet Muhammad type, nor of your Jewish type. Our Gandhiji is only a Semitic type personality alone. Abrahamic type of personality our Gandhiji was. So it's a very insane person. First we allow a normal healthy human being. Okay? Normal healthy logical thinking, follows ethics and values. He accepts a human relationship, good healthy emotions. See, the spiritual emotions are transcending emotion, not creating perverting your normal human emotions. Gandhiji thought that the normal human emotions are perverted, then it becomes a spiritual. Typical Abrahamic religion, monotheistic religion type Gandhiji. So we say normal human emotions and thoughts and activity remain. They should be logical and you have to transcend them. Transcend means they are further purified. They are further purified of all your ego and relation. So this purification is achieved by Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is common for all sadhanas, yogic, bhakti, Vedanta or anything. Even to be a normal good human being, Karma Yoga helps you. Therefore, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Karma Yoga also takes you to liberation, and the real spiritual Vedantic knowledge also takes you to Jnana. But don't think Karma Yoga is against spirituality, because Karma Yoga is a necessary step. Therefore, Tayost. But compared to that directly self-inquiry, Karma Yoga is better because it is easier to practice, and every sadhana, every sadhaka, in a beginning stage, everybody needs. Don't jump, don't skip the Karma Yoga. Therefore, he says, Stayostu Karma Sannyasat, Karma Yoga Vishishyate. Karma Yoga is better rather than skipping Karma Yoga and becoming a sannyasi like Buddhist. You become directly sannyasi. You take directly to yogic and Vedantic way, then you will be you will become like another Abrahamic prophet, pervert prophet. You will become a delusional prophet. Therefore, first, because whatever the natural feelings, natural desires of human nature, you start finding fault with them because you want to suppress your desires and natural needs of a human mind, human feelings. You start seeing negatively. You start suppressing them. You say, oh, Satan is catching me. Satan is all. There is no Satan, nothing. All this is your delusion. These are all natural feelings. You only have to purify them. Instead of purifying, you start imagining all negative things, suppressing them. Then all this starts. Negative thinking problem starts. Therefore, Karma Yoga purifies your emotions, your desires, your what you call ego and all other things, relations, everything. Your attachment, your money and property and people, your relationship, everything has to be purified, made sane and logical and normal and healthy. Okay? Once you become a normal and healthy person, then you become a supernormal, then transcending comes. From the abnormal state, come to normal. Then you transcend the normality. So they think that by a normal person becoming abnormal is something spiritual, something religious. That is creating problem. Therefore, Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate, he says, compared to Karma Sannyasa. For a beginning sadhaka, Karma Yoga is much better, and I advise you and I advocate, take to life of Karma Yoga. Let personality be purified. Let the real creative self-observation, self-inquiry. Let the mind be prepared for self-inquiry, unprejudiced, open-minded, take the fact as a fact. not be under delusion, just to take the facts, a simple holiness. Okay, let that simple holiness arise in you by your purification of the mind. Therefore, in the third shloka, let us proceed. I think I just read out and then close today's talk. Gneyasya nitya sannyasi yo nadveshti na kankshati nirdvandvo hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Sannyasa is transcending karma. So, this karma sannyasa, listening, karma sannyasa, renunciation of activity, renunciation of work, instantly mind jumps that giving up, abandoning all activity and just becoming irresponsible person. They think that that is sannyasa. Because giving up all worldly activity and looking strange, looking deluded, they think that this is sannyasa, this is yoga. Because the superficially external outlook, his inner mind is not known. The yogi's Vedantin's inner mind is not known. Externally, he looks that he is a relaxed person, not indulging in worldly activity, money and acquirement and achievement of worldly achievements is not interested. Seeing him a monk, a sannyasi, people think that, oh, giving up and just living a life of sannyasi is enough. No, he says, external lifestyle sannyasa is not sannyasa. The real sannyasa comes from your inner mind, purity of mind. Then what takes you sannyasa? What takes you to sannyasa? What makes you a sannyasi? A renunciate, not the cloth. Not this cloth. Cloth doesn't make you sannyasi. It is a mind, a purified mind. Therefore, he says, Gneyas Sanitya Sannyasi. That person who has no ego, who doesn't hate, who doesn't have personal desires. Okay, a person is a purified from his mind. The negative thoughts, negative feelings, selfish desires, illusions and delusions. A person he is pure, he is a real sannyasi. Ever sannyasi. A person he is a real sannyasi, ever sannyasi. He purifies his mind, not the one who physically gives up and takes to a lifestyle sannyasa. That is not sannyasa. It is the inner purity of the mind. Okay, Gneyasya nitya sannyasi yo nadveshti na kankshati nirdvandvo hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Anyway, more we need to explain. Today I am late, I took 15 minutes. Okay, we will continue normally in the next class. Okay, Om. This third shloka is going on, not yet completed. We'll discuss more in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Narayana.